Hello, everyone. This is ex Bethelite here, and I want to thank someone, and it is Alexis in North Carolina. Alexis sent me a letter with a card in it and a gift as well. The card here is very nice, and it says, "No matter how he tests us with trials or troubles, God is bigger and he will help you triumph. God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble." So it quotes Psalm 46:1. And inside the card, Alexis wrote something for me. It says, "Everything works together for the glory of," in quotation, "Jehovah God. Your purpose was, you were God's agent to expose," I'm guessing Watchtower here. "Take care, sincerely, Alexis Dunbar from North Carolina." So this was very encouraging, very nice. I was born and raised a Jehovah's Witness, which means literally from a kid to adulthood. And I remember getting people cards and things like that. And it's very rare that I got cards while I was a part of the organization. I got some when I went to Bethel, and then everyone kind of forgot about me. But other than going to Bethel, which was a huge deal, about as big of a deal for witnesses as there can be, I don't think I ever just got an encouraging card with a gift in along with it. Very generous gift from Alexis Dunbar. And can you believe people that are this kind sent me a nice, encouraging card with a scripture in there? These are the people that Jehovah's Witnesses shun, refuse to speak to. There are people in Alexis's own family who will not speak to her. But yet she's sent me a card. I've spoken to her over the phone. She's an amazing woman. She's helping with a relative that has special needs, and that relative is doing a great job, overcoming all kinds of obstacles, doing well in school. And Alexis' family won't speak to her and won't speak to the child either, who hasn't done anything. This child hasn't done anything, but yet the witnesses won't, people who are in this organization won't speak to them as well. So how someone can claim that that is a Christian act is beyond me. This is proof of her character, that she is an amazing person, a very kind person, a very generous person. And yet the organization is shunning people like that, shunning very good people. So again, I want to thank Alexis Dunbar in North Carolina. And I've got her number. She's got mine. So we're going to chat. And let's get into the topic. And it's really a question. And the question is, do Jehovah's Witnesses individually do research at all on any of the organization's major teachings. Now, in order to answer that question, we want to be fair. I always try to be fair because I'm asking a question and the answer could be yes, they do research, or the answer could be no, they don't. But let's first look and see what's research. Not what does Marcus mean by research. No, let's look at what research is. So if you Google the word research, you will see a definition given. So we're going to work based off of not someone's opinion, but the definition. And the definition for research is the systematic investigation into and study of materials and sources, plural, sources, in order to establish facts and reach new conclusions. So again, the question is this something that Jehovah's Witnesses do in general? And do individual Jehovah's Witnesses research any of the organization's major teachings? That's a huge question, because that means people coming to your door to preach to you, the person that's actually there may not have done any research on any of their major teachings. So the point that we kind of glean from the definition of the word research is that you need study materials and sources, plural, not just one source. So that means that if a Jehovah's Witness comes to your door telling you that something is a fact, and they provide you with one source, that's not enough to make a conclusion. In order to do research, you need sources, plural. For example, if I was going out to buy a car, I would need to do some research on cars to find out which car has got the best fuel mileage and what car is best suitable to my needs. Now, when I go out to do that research, if I get a magazine and that magazine is called Chevy Magazine, and I read through it and say, well, I've done my research. I've studied about cars. My conclusion is that Chevy has the best cars based off Chevy Magazine. And Chevy Magazine said Hondas have this problem. Chevy Magazine said Ford and Chrysler have this problem and that problem. So since I've done so much study in Chevy Magazine, and I even went to Chevy's website, I feel like I now know enough to buy a car, and I think I want to get a Chevy. Well, that's not research. You looked at one source. You'd want to look at a number of sources. Is that not correct? Because that's obviously biased. So, again, comment down below. Let me know if you think that there are any Jehovah's Witnesses, that there is a Jehovah's Witness on the planet that researched, I don't mean just read and awake in a watchtower, but the way that they came to the conclusion of the major beliefs that that person has is that they got together a bunch of sources, did the research, and came to the conclusion that Jesus Christ was going to return invisibly in the year 1944. 14. We're going to be fair, so go ahead and comment down below if you did your own research. And by research, I don't mean just read Watchtower material. But you did your own research and you came to the conclusion that Jesus returned in 1914 invisibly and picked the Jehovah's Witnesses as the best religion. More than likely, the individual witness did not research that on their own. No, they read it in the organization's publications and just believed it. What about another major teaching, which is that Jehovah's Witnesses believe that Jesus Christ and Michael, described as an archangel, are the exact same people. That Jesus is an angel and an angel is Michael. They're the same people. I seriously doubt that there is a witness on the planet that did their own research, went to a library, got some publications together, did a bunch of research, tried to be as unbiased as possible, and came to that conclusion. No, more than likely they read in a watchtower somewhere that Jesus and Michael are the same people, and they just believed it, assuming that the organization that printed that watchtower or publication, that they did the research, so that I don't have to because they did it. The teaching about 144,000 people only going to heaven, and then a separate group remaining forever on earth. It's probably not something that, again, another major teaching, but probably something that no Jehovah's Witness has ever done research according to the definition of research, looking up a number of sources and coming to the conclusion. By number of sources, I don't mean one of the many numbers of books that the Watchtower organization prints. No, different sources printed by different groups or organizations or people. So this is a big question. And I want to be as fair and as unbiased as possible. Because if I go by my own experience and what I know and what I have seen being raised as a witness, the answer to that would be no. Jehovah's Witnesses individually do not research not a single one of the major teachings that they believe to be true. They've never researched it. They believe it because the Watchtower said it. Why do I think that? Because the home that I was raised in, the books we had were primarily all from the organization. If you look in the back of any of the books that we had, other than our childhood, Dr. Seuss type books, but any of the books that we had for research, they'd all have Watchtower Bible and Tract Society written on the back of that publication. So how can you do any unbiased research? So answer the question down below. I'd be very interested to talk to anyone who sat at home and was doing research and came to the conclusion that, well, Jesus is here invisibly in 1914 and picked Jehovah's Witnesses. More than likely that didn't happen. So contact me at 937-607-5085. You can also message me on Facebook. I'm Marcus Vaughn on Facebook. And my email, BETHELITE, the number 7 at yahoo.com. And everything we're discussing here, fair. We want to be as objective as possible. Have Jehovah's Witnesses studied or I'm sorry, research, not study. You can study one source, but you can't do research with just one source. Have Jehovah's Witnesses researched any of their major teachings. I don't mean the organization, because organizations, especially religious organizations, can kind of jump around and find facts that kind of back their claims and remove or ignore facts that kind of don't. So that's why I say individual Jehovah's Witnesses, do any of them, do any research on any of their major teachings. I'm going to leave that for you guys to answer. Again, I want to thank Alexis in North Carolina, and hope everything is going well for her, and for sending me this nice letter. And this is Ex Bethelite signing out.